My dream was to make diamonds accessible to all. That was the idea of Daniel Swarovski, which became the foundation for the company that would grow far beyond what anyone could have imagined. A $750,000 crystal-encrusted grand piano, a $1 million fantasy bra, and a dazzling 45 million crystals decorating the Oscar stage. Swarovski has redefined luxury and sparkle for over a century. From Hollywood's biggest moments to couture collaborations with Dior and Alexander McQueen, this Austrian powerhouse became synonymous with elegance and innovation. But behind the shimmer lies a story of challenges, reinvention, and a fight to stay relevant in an ever-changing world. How did Swarovski rise from its darkest days to reclaim its brilliance?
My earrings, everyone can see it, and it's pink. Pink is my favorite color, so it's like perfect.
Daniel Swarovski's story begins in northern Bohemia, now part of the Czech Republic. It was a modern start, surrounded by his father's glass-cutting business. Watching his father work with delicate precision in their small factory, Daniel quickly picked up the trade. But even then, you could tell he wasn't satisfied with just learning the family craft. He wanted to take it further. And take it further he did. By 1892, Daniel Swarovski had not only mastered the art of glass cutting, but also invented an electric glass cutting machine that revolutionized the craft. This wasn't just a small improvement, it was a game changer. The machine, patented the same year, allowed for greater precision than manual methods and enabled the production of crystal glass on an unprecedented scale.
It's a secret how you do it. We live in a competitive world, and we try to protect what is important for us.
The process involved melting a secret blend of quartz sand, minium, potassium, and soda at high temperatures. While the basic formula is known, the exact treatment process remains a closely guarded company secret, protected over 130 years.
Created the affordable diamond, and yes, it is an illusion of a diamond.
Daniel's machines churned out crystals with a brilliance that caught the attention of jewelers everywhere. Suddenly, what had once been a luxury only the wealthy could afford was now within reach for everyday people. By 1899, the brand started spreading, reaching as far as France, where it became known as Pierre Taillé du Tyrol, cut stones from Tyrol. But success didn't mean smooth sailing. As the company grew, it faced hurdles. In 1919, Daniel founded Tyrolit, which created polishing tools for industries far beyond jewelry. This was a savvy move, especially as the world headed toward economic uncertainty. Diversifying helped Swarovski stay afloat during tough times, but the challenges weren't just financial. The family itself wasn't immune to struggles. As with any dynasty, egos clashed, and disputes over the direction of the business emerged. Those tensions would only grow as the company expanded. The rise of Swarovski might sound like a fairy tale, but every dynasty has its darker chapters, and the 1930s brought some shadows. The family's ties to the Nazi Party during World War II left a mark that isn't easy to gloss over. Key members of the Swarovski family were supporters of Nazism, leveraging political connections to keep their business growing through the war. Decades later, in an effort to address their history, Swarovski commissioned a study on their Nazi-era activities. But the findings never saw the light of day. The company cited privacy concerns, insisting that family stories had little to do with modern business. It's a messy chapter, one the company still grapples with as it shapes its future. Swarovski was the secret ingredient behind some of the most iconic looks in history. If you've ever wondered why celebrities seem to glow like stars under the spotlight, there's a good chance Swarovski had something to do with it. Take Marilyn Monroe, for instance. Her costumes were dripping with Swarovski crystals and turned her into the ultimate showgirl. She wore the iconic silk gown with 2,500 hand-stitched Swarovski crystals during her performance of Happy Birthday, Mr. President for John F. Kennedy. Then there's Elizabeth Taylor as Cleopatra. Her costumes were so lavish and crystal-covered that they nearly bankrupt 20th Century Fox. That extravagance wasn't just for the show. It set a standard for using crystals to elevate costume design to pure art. Swarovski's influence extends beyond Hollywood into high fashion. In 1956, the brand collaborated with Christian Dior to create the Aurora Borealis stone, inspired by the Northern Lights, making extraordinary jewelry accessible to all. By the late 1950s, designers like Balenciaga used Swarovski crystals to redefine elegance, adding life and light to haute couture. By 1977, Swarovski had cemented its global presence, entering the U.S. jewelry market and solidifying its reputation as a leader in luxury design.
A highlight to this, what I'm using is Swarovski rhinestones, and this really gives sort of a sparkle of glamour.
Swarovski crystals have long been a favorite among luxury fashion designers, adding a signature sparkle to their creations.
And we felt that integration with the Swarovski crystal mesh was a lot more natural. I think our relationship of working with Swarovski became more interesting because you could start creating embroideries and using the crystals to...
Versace had consistently used Swarovski elements to enhance the opulence of its clothing and accessories, as seen in their 2012 Atelier Versace collection, adorned with intricate crystal embellishments. Lebanese designer Zuhair Murad often embellishes his evening and bridal gowns with Swarovski crystals, adding intricate sparkle to his elaborate designs. Jean-Paul Gaultier not only used Swarovski crystals in his couture collections, but also designed exclusive crystal shapes, such as the Caput crystal for the brand. Christian Louboutin, the luxury footwear designer, used Swarovski crystals to create dazzling heels and bespoke designs, adding a touch of sparkle to his iconic red-soled shoes. Swarovski's partnership with fashion is outstanding. They've worked with British designers like Alexander McQueen, whose dramatic creations often featured Swarovski crystals in ways you'd never expect. From his crystal bell jar dress to his legendary Savage Beauty exhibition, McQueen's genius came to life with Swarovski's help.
We're so excited to be here tonight to really celebrate the creative genius of Alexander McQueen. Swarovski is so honored to support and sponsor this exhibition.
Nadia Swarovski, who has been a driving force behind these collaborations, described the partnership as an explosion of creative energy. That's not an exaggeration. Whether it was crystal-encrusted headdresses or dresses that literally lit up, McQueen and Swarovski took fashion to another level. And Doja Cat turned heads at the 2023 Schiaparelli Haute Couture Spring-Summer Show in Paris with a show-stopping ensemble. Her outfit featured a jaw-dropping 30,000 Swarovski crystals applied by hand, covering her completely from head to toe in shimmering red brilliance. The process took nearly 5 hours, with makeup artist Pat McGrath leading the creation of what she called a magical, mesmerizing masterpiece of sparkling brilliance.
Incredible. Thank you so much for having me. This is a blessing. I'm like so great.
Thank you.
It's the best thing I've done.
And let's not forget Swarovski's entry into streetwear. Their partnership with Nike brought us crystal-encrusted sneakers that blend high fashion with everyday wear. Take the Air Force One LXX, for example. Covered in 228 retro-reflective crystals, these sneakers literally shine under streetlights, making them a statement piece like no other. And if you're feeling creative, you can even use the included screwdriver to rearrange the crystals however you want. Talk about customizable luxury. These collaborations didn't stop there. Swarovski also worked on a pair of Air Jordan 1s set to release in 2025 with a price tag of $1,000. But by the 21st century, cracks in the facade began to show. Family disputes resurfaced, and as consumer habits changed, Swarovski struggled to keep up. The brand had built its empire on accessible luxury, but the market was shifting, and so were expectations. Robert Buchbauer, Daniel Swarovski's great-grandson, marked a dramatic shift for the company in 2020, as Swarovski moved away from its everyday crystals toward high-end luxury items. The transition came with massive layoffs, 6,000 employees, and the closure of 750 retail stores. These weren't easy decisions, but they were necessary for Swarovski's reinvention. Swarovski adopted the swan as its logo, representing grace and purity. This emblem became synonymous with their high-quality products, including their collectible figurines, which are cherished by enthusiasts worldwide. The company managed to turn around their struggles, and in 2023, the company reported a 4% growth, reaching 1.832 billion euros in revenue and returned to profitability after previous challenges. As of 2024, Swarovski operates approximately 2,800 stores in and around 170 countries, employing over 27,000 people. Swarovski has a knack for taking luxury to another level, and some of their collaborations and products feel almost too dazzling to be true. Let's talk about a few that really push the boundaries of extravagance. First, imagine sitting down to play a piano. Now make that piano a Swarovski-encrusted masterpiece. That's exactly what the Swarovski Bösendorfer Grand Piano is. Covered in 8,000 hand-cut crystals with a matching bench, worth a jaw-dropping $750,000. And it debuted in where else? Las Vegas. I'm sure you already heard about the iconic $1 million bra, created for Victoria's Secret Dream Angels Fantasy Bra in 2018. Why was it valued so high? Because this piece was crafted with over 2,100 lab-grown Swarovski diamonds and responsibly sourced topaz, weighing in at 71.05 carats. The centerpiece alone was a 2.3 carat pear-shaped diamond. 4 craftsmen poured 930 hours into creating this masterpiece, which wasn't just glamorous, but also a statement about sustainable luxury.
Inside was the fantasy bra, and I was just like, oh my God, I was shaking. It was such a beautiful moment that I'll remember forever.
And for those of us who don't have $1 million to send on a bra, Victoria's Secret offered a more affordable $250 version of the bra, made with Swarovski crystals. Still fancy, but a bit more accessible. Of course, Swarovski's sparkle didn't stop at fashion and music. Let's take a detour into the automotive world, where a Mercedes-Benz SL600 was decked out in 300,000 Swarovski crystals. This car made its debut at the 2013 Tokyo Auto Salon and turned heads for being as blindingly sparkly as it was outrageous. It even had fur interiors, just in case the crystals weren't extra enough. While rumors swirled that a Saudi prince owned the car, he actually denied it. But honestly, does it even matter who owns it? It's the kind of thing that you can't forget once you've seen it, and that's exactly the point. Over the years, the brand expanded beyond jewelry into home decor, figurines, and accessories, becoming a household name. Their collaborations with Hollywood further cemented their status, with Swarovski crystals adorning costumes in iconic films. By the time the 2000s rolled around, it had expanded its shine to movie sets. Director Baz Luhrmann gave us a crystal wonderland in Moulin Rouge, and then used Swarovski again for those extravagant chandeliers in The Great Gatsby. A year after Moulin Rouge, Swarovski crystals made an appearance in the James Bond film Die Another Day. But the real showstopper? Dreamgirls. The curtains behind Beyoncé, Jennifer Hudson, and the rest of the Dreamettes glittered with hundreds of crystals, turning their performances into pure magic. That Dreamgirls moment caught the eye of J. Michael Riva, the production designer for the Oscars that same year. He wanted the award show to have the same breathtaking sparkle.
Given us the opportunity with these beautifully machined and magical pieces to make scenery that will challenge the eye.
So in 2007, Swarovski created a 34-foot high curtain embedded with over 50,000 crystals for the Oscars stage. And just like that, Swarovski became a staple of the Academy Awards. Over the years, the Oscars have leaned into Swarovski's brilliance more and more. In 2018, they went all out. The Dolby Theatre stage featured a whopping 45 million crystals. Yes, 45 million, decorating a massive proscenium that weighed 15,000 pounds and took 3,250 hours to create. It was the most elaborate and over-the-top step in Oscars history. However, the luxury market is evolving. The rise of high-quality artificial jewelry, shifting consumer preferences, and a focus on sustainability present challenges. In recent years, consumer preferences have shifted significantly. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated the adoption of online shopping and increased demand for sustainable products. Many consumers now prioritize ethical sourcing and environmental responsibility in their purchasing decisions. Additionally, younger generations are redefining luxury, favoring unique personalized experiences over traditional status symbols. This trend has led to a growing interest in secondhand luxury goods, and a focus on quality over quantity. Swarovski has adapted to these changes by launching lab-grown diamond collections, offering consumers an ethical and affordable alternative to mined diamonds. The company is also committed to reducing its environmental impact by joining the Science Based Targets initiative and setting ambitious carbon emission reduction goals. What are your thoughts? Is the shift in consumer preference away from luxury a win or loss for Swarovski? Can lab-grown diamonds eventually replace real diamonds? Let us know in the comments below.